foundational Black Americans, America has nothing. No future, no culture, no soul. Strip us out of the story and watch this whole nation collapse in real time. The truth is simple. They live off of us while lying to our faces. They steal our inventions, erase our names, eat our food, copy our slang, dance to our beats, and then dare to act like we're disposable. Without us, they stall. Without us, they starve. Without us, they stop moving. We gave you the personal computer. Mark Dean, a foundational Black American, co-created the IBM PC, holding 3 of the 9 original patents. Without him, there is no laptop, no smartphone, no internet. Every email, every TikTok, every algorithm, his genius built the world you live in. And yet they hand the credit to everyone but us. We gave you video games. Jerry Lawson invented the cartridge system. That invention became the backbone of a $200 billion industry. Every console you plug in, every game you load, traces back to him. But they crowned others kings of innovation while leaving his name in the shadows. We gave you GPS. Dr. Gladys West, a Black woman, mapped the earth itself so satellites could guide you. Every Uber ride, every plane, every ship, every map app, without her, the world is lost. Yet how many schools teach her name? We gave you Mars rovers. Dr. Ayanna Howard, an FBA roboticist, coded the brains that let those machines move. Without her, they sit dead on red dirt. With her, the stars open. We gave you the space race itself. Katherine Johnson's calculations launched Apollo to the moon. Mae Jemison took us into orbit. Victor Glover lived months aboard the ISS. Aisha Bowe is about to fly with Blue Origin. They love to say they conquered space, but who actually put the numbers on the board? It was us and our children. They are already building the next world. Elena Annalee Wicker, accepted into medical school at 13, NASA intern and founder of Brown STEM Girl. Taylor Richardson, astronaut Starbright, raising millions to fund science opportunities for girls. Across the country, FBA youth are coding AI, inventing medical devices, filing patents. They are the living proof that the God particle never stopped moving forward. It just got younger, sharper, and more fearless. Why us? Because we are convergence. We are the only people forged through every storm. African, Indigenous, European, Pacific, threads woven together into one people. Unlike bottleneck populations, we are the widest blueprint on Earth. That means adaptability. That means survival in changing climates and shifting societies in space itself. When the world bends, we don't break, we bend it back. And at the core of all of this is melanin, the God particle. Melanin, the armor shielding DNA from radiation, vital for space and a warming planet. Neuromelanin, the spark in the brain linking rhythm, creativity, and memory to dopamine itself. It's not just pigment, it's a superconductor, a living archive, a biological technology no lab can synthesize. It's why our rhythm moves the earth. It's why our memory survives erasure. It's why every beat, every dish, every invention keeps birthing revolutions, whether they want it to or not. And still, they steal, they rename, they rebrand. They hand Elvis the crown for rock and roll while burying Little Richard and Chuck Berry. They call soul food Southern cuisine while stripping it of our struggle. They turn hip-hop into pop and sell it back to us watered down. They whitewash history while living off of our frequency. So here's the question. If we gave them the computers, the games, the maps, the rockets, the music, the food, the slang, the swagger, what did they actually create without us? What is America without FBA? Nothing but a parasite feeding on its host. And the truth is, they know it. That's why they fight so hard to erase our names. That's why they build walls around opportunity. That's why they sterilized us, jailed us, flooded our neighborhoods with drugs, and still try to bury our brilliance. Because if the world knew the full truth, that their entire reality is built on our genius, the revolution would already be here. So let me say it plain. We don't just create culture. We are the culture. We don't just build tools. We are the architects of survival. We don't just adapt. We are the blueprint for the future. And that future isn't just 3D. It's 5D, 7D, infinite. Because melanin doesn't just protect the body, it encodes memory across dimensions. Our rhythm isn't just sound, it's vibration that reshapes reality. Our culture isn't just influence, it's the frequency of creation itself. So here it is. The sun is rising. The God particle is awake. And if the world lives off our genius, our inventions, our rhythm, our blueprint, then the future is not theirs, it's ours. The question isn't whether we're ready. The question is, how long are we going to keep letting them eat off us without paying the price of admission to the world we already built? Because the revolution isn't coming. The revolution is already here. The only thing left is for us to step into it.
They built a whole nation, then erased the blueprints. You want to know what America would look like without foundational black Americans? No internet, no GPS, no music worth listening to, no flavor on your plate. Just listen. Empty streets, a cultural graveyard. But here's the thing they don't want you to know about. We didn't just contribute to this country. We are the country itself. Every algorithm you scroll, every beat you vibe to, every innovation you take for granted, that's our genius. They stole and slapped someone else's names on it. But what if I told you that 1.7 trillion reasons prove we are not just the backbone, we are the entire skeleton holding this whole thing together? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never see America the same way again.
So, since there's so many of y'all on here talking about go back to Africa, you should go, blah, 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 I decided to ask Chagpt, Chat, what would happen if all black Americans left the US and returned to Africa? And one thing Chagpt do not do is lie, baby. So this is what Chagpt said. This is food for thought for everybody who's saying go back to Africa. So first, black Americans make up 14% of the US population and contribute significantly to healthcare, education, sports, entertainment, government. And a sudden departure would create significant labor shortages. That's one. 2, black Americans contribute over $1.7 trillion annually to the U.S. economy. A departure like that would create a sudden loss of economic power. 3, black-owned businesses which employ millions of Americans would shut down or relocate, shifting the wealth to whatever country all of us went to. Number 4. Now this one gonna really piss you off. This one gonna piss you off. Loss of cultural influence. Black Americans, and I quote, black Americans have shaped U.S. culture through jazz, hip-hop, and blues, fashion, language, and sports. Their departure would significantly alter America's cultural identity. Of course, we know that there will be a shift in elections, particularly for the Democratic Party. There won't be a need for NAACP and Black Lives Matter. But here's where it gets good again. A decline in innovation. Blacks foster creativity and innovation. The loss of racial diversity could slow technological advances. See, y'all ancestors ain't tell y'all how sick y'all was. See, y'all, before y'all found us, y'all was fighting each other. See, ain't nobody passed that information on to y'all. Y'all don't know about all that. See, our people passed information on. Y'all people didn't. Y'all wanted to be lost in translation, but we know. We know. We know.
Foundational black Americans, America has no culture, just silence. That's the truth they don't want to say out loud. Strip away everything we gave the world, and you're left with empty streets, bland plates, and a soundtrack that never existed. Because every sound you move to, every flavor you crave, every style you copy, we built it first. We gave you the blues, born in the Mississippi Delta, from the cries of our ancestors in the fields, from spirituals coated with survival, from voices that refuse to be broken. That's the first American music. Without us, silence. We gave you jazz, New Orleans brilliance, brass horns and ragtime turned into improvisation so advanced, the rest of the world is still catching up. Jazz wasn't just music, it was freedom encoded in sound. Without us, silence. We gave you gospel, The ring shouts, the call and response, the fire that shook church rafters and lifted entire movements. Gospel is the root of inspiration in this country. Without us, silence. We gave you country, the banjo, African in its origin, storytelling ballads that came from our mouths. They'll give you cowboy hats and steel guitars, but the roots are ours. Without us, silence. We gave you rock and roll. Chuck Berry, Little Richard, Sister Rosetta Tharpe. They wrote the language. Elvis only copied it. They crowned him the king while erasing the ones who invented the throne. Without us, silence. We gave you hip-hop, Bronx block parties in the 1970s, turntables, rhymes, graffiti, breakdance, a culture born from nothing that became the heartbeat of the globe, the most powerful youth language in the world. Without us, silence. And it doesn't stop with music. Look at the food. They call it Southern cooking, but we know the truth. We gave you gumbo, indigenous corn, beans, and squash mixed with African okra and rice, seasoned with Moorish spice knowledge. A dish of survival turned into world cuisine. Without us, your plate is plain. We gave you barbecue, fire mastery, smoking meat low and slow, turning scraps into feasts kings would envy. Without us, your plate is plain. We gave you soul food, collard greens, cornbread, mac and cheese, fried chicken. Dishes that started as rations became global comfort food. UNESCO recognizes Creole and soul food as heritage. America just calls it comfort. Without us, your plate is plain. We gave you jambalaya, hoppin' john, candied yams, pecan pie. Without us, the South has no flavor. Without us, America has no cuisine. But culture is deeper than what you eat or hear. Culture is memory. When they banned our drums, we stomped, we clapped, we chanted. We made the body the instrument. Rhythm itself became our library. When they stripped our names, we encoded our history in flavor, in song, and story. They thought they erased us, but we stored our legacy in the vibration itself. Science even proves it. Neuromelanin in the brain, substantia nigra, locus coeruleus, directly tied to rhythm, memory, and creativity. Our melanin isn't just pigment. It's a conductor. It's why our beats spread without translation. It's why our slang becomes global language. It's why our TikTok dances cross oceans in hours. Because we aren't just influential, we're foundational. And still, they erase us. They gave the banjo to Appalachia. They gave rock and roll to Elvis. They renamed soul food Southern cuisine. They corporatized hip-hop until they could sell it back to us diluted. They steal. They rebrand. They resell. Because they know if the world knew the truth, the lie collapses. Ask yourself, what does America really export to the world? It's not cars. It's not democracy. It's culture. And every ounce of that culture is FBA made. The world dances to our rhythm. The world eats from our recipes. The world dresses in our style. The world lives in our memory. We gave you the sound. We gave you the flavor. We gave you the style. We gave you the pulse. Without us, the world doesn't move. So here's the question they fear most. If the entire world needs our culture to function, why are we still letting them erase our names? Why do we still let them steal the credit? Why do we still allow them to orbit us while pretending they don't revolve around us? We don't just create culture. We are culture. We don't just ride the frequency. We are the frequency. And if the whole world moves to our rhythm, what happens when we stop letting them copy, stop letting them steal, and finally make them pay for the privilege of even hearing the beat?
Let me paint you a picture that's gonna make you make some folks really uncomfortable. Imagine waking up tomorrow and every foundational black American just vanished. Not moved away, not relocated, just gone. What do you think happens next? Of course, you see hospitals collapse within hours. Your GPS stops working, the internet crashes, hip-hop dies, just becomes a memory, soul food disappears from every menu. The entire technological backbone of modern society crumbles because the architects, our people, built it all. But that's just the beginning, guys. See, this is not some hypothetical fever dream I'm cooking up here. This is the mathematics. This is documented history that have been whitewashing for centuries. When I say foundational black Americans built this country, I don't mean just we just picked cotton and sang spirituals. I mean we literally invented the world you're living in right now. There is a guy by the name Mark Dean. Our brother holds 3 of the 9 original patents for the IBM PC. Without him, there is no laptop you're watching this on, no smartphone in your pocket, no internet connecting us right now. But when the last time you heard his name in computer science class? Of course not. Let us talk about Dr. Gladys West mapped the entire Earth for satellite navigation. Every Uber ride, every GPS route, every time you found your way home, that's her genius guiding you. But they gave that credit to some white boys in Silicon Valley. Jerry Lawson is another one who invented the video game cartridge system. A $200 billion industry built on his innovation. But who got crowned the kings of gaming? Right? Culture. I want to tell you something, baby. We don't just create culture. We are the culture itself. Blues, jazz, gospel, rock and roll, hip-hop, all of it flows from our spiritual DNA. Chuck Berry, Little Richard, Sister Rosita Tharpe invented rock and roll. They then gave Elvis the crown and called him the king. Hip-hop born in Bronx, black parties in the 1970s became the heartbeat of the globe. But they took our beats, watered them down, cooperated our pain, and sold it back to us like fast food. So I don't know if you feel me, but let us talk about banjo, the instrument that builds the country music. That's African technology, baby. We taught them how to make music, and then they turned around and told us we had no culture. How comes we had no culture? I told you this. I don't get me started on the food. There is gumbo, jambalaya, there is barbecue, there is soul food. That's the alchemy. Taking scraps they gave us and turning it into cuisine that can fast the world. But now they call it Southern cooking and strip away the struggle, the story, the separate transformation that created it. Growing up in the diaspora, you learn early that your history starts with slavery. They want you to believe you came from nothing, contributed nothing, and nothing but a problem to be managed. But that's the biggest lie to have ever been told. I remember the first time I learned about the Moors teaching Europe how to bath, about the libraries of Timbuktu, about the mathematical concepts that build the pyramids. I felt robbed, not just of knowledge, but of pride, of identity, of understanding that we are descendants of architects, not accident. See, they erased our names because the entire reality is built on our genius. We are not immigrants in America. We are the foundation. Our ancestors didn't just survive the Middle Passage. They carried ancient codes, spiritual technologies, creative frequencies that became the building blocks of everything innovative in this American country that you're seeing today. But here's what really threatens them. It's not just our inventions they solve. It's our spiritual blueprint. Melanin is not just a pigment. It's biological technology. Neuromelanin in our brains creates the spark that links rhythm and creativity and memory. Melanin is armor, shielding our DNA from radiation, essential for space travel and surviving on a warm planet. We are the convergence personified. African wisdom, indigenous knowing, European exposure, all woven into one people. We are the widest genetic and spiritual blueprint on Earth today. We represent adaptability, survival, the future of human innovation. And they call us minorities, but we are the majority of innovation. They call us problems, but we are the solution to everything from technological advancement to spiritual liberation. We are not just surviving in America. We are the reason America survives. So next time, when you see people like Caribbean, African, American born, and all of us, when I see us questioning our worth, fighting over scraps, believing the lie that we're lucky to be here, it breaks my heart very badly, because the truth, without us, there is no here. That $1.7 trillion we contribute annually, that's not charity. That's proof of ownership. We don't need their validation. We need our recognition. We need our reparations. We need our respect, right? They fight so hard to erase our names because they know the truth. We are the architects of survival. We are the keepers of ancient codes. We are liberation frequency holders. We are the backbone, the blueprint, and the future to come. So the next time someone tries to tell you about American exceptionalism, remind them who made America exceptional. The next time they talk about innovation, remind them who innovated. The next time they question our place here, remind them we built this place here. We are the foundational Black Americans. We are the future. We are the technology. We are the future. And it's high time the world acknowledge that we've always known without us, they have nothing. No future, no culture, no soul, just silence. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.